Welcome back, students. In this lesson, we will add score and game over text, and we will make sure to add jump to restart option. So first, regarding text, let's go to our scene, right-click and choose UI and text. Delete the event system right away because we do not need it. So first text will be score text. Change its name to score text. Let's also change our canvas, just like we did in our Flappy Bird. So click on Canvas, go to Canvas Scaler, choose UI Scale Mode, and change it to constant physical size. We do this because on our Android devices, this gets messed up and we do not have the results as we would like them to be. That's why we change this to constant physical size. So go back to our text. I haven't changed score text because I haven't clicked enter. This text, I do not want it to say anything because it will just take the numbers from our script. Our font is the font from our project, so just drag it there. Font size is 30. Let's set position X and Y to be 0 and zoom out to see where our score text is. So there it is. I will just type something here just to make sure that I can see where it is. I will reposition it and resize it. I think it's okay to be here. I will delete the text now. Also make sure that horizontal overflow is overflow and vertical to be overflow also, because we do not want to cut any numbers later on. Now let's add game over text. So change its name to game over text. The text should say game over. The font is the same. The size is 30. Now let's reposition it and resize it the way you want to. I think here's okay. I just want to make sure that horizontal overflow is checked and also vertical overflow, just in case if we change this text. Now let's set it to be invisible. Just click this box right here and go to Arduino script. Okay, first thing we need to add that we are using Unity Engine.UI, so user interface for our text. Then let's add few variables. First variable is score, the second one is score text, and the third one is game over text. So first, private integer, which will be score. Initialize it right away to 0. Next thing is public text, which is score text. And our game object, our game over text. It is game object because we wanted to set it to visible, which is easier if we declare that it's game object. Now, let's go to our update method. Here in this condition, we also need to check our score. So in every frame, we will check our score. We write that by typing check score as in a method, and we will add this method just underneath this dino_died method. So private void check score, and here we will say our score gets increased by every frame. This is our integer, and it gets increased every frame because every frame we call this method. And let's try this. So score text dot text is actually our score when it's converted to string. Now let's save this and try it. To try it, we have to click on Dino, find this script, change score text to our score text, and our game over text to game over text. Okay, let's try now. As you can see, our score is a bit too fast. So let's change that. Go back to our Dino script. So to slow this score down, we just have to divide it. In order to divide it, we have to have float variable. So this score will change from integer to float. Let's go to our variables. As you can see here, private integer, just change it to float. So private float equals to 0. Great. The next thing, go to check score. Here, instead of writing this, we will just say, we want our score to be divided by 5. So I will slow it down by 5. I will put it in brackets, so score divided by 5. but also this is float, so I have to change it right here to integer. That's how we do it. Let's add another bracket because we want to cast it to string. Okay, great. Let's save this and let's see if it's a bit better now. Yeah, I think it's alright now. So all we had to do is just divide it because our frame rate is high and it goes fast. We just have to slow it down a bit. Next, we have to use our game over text. We'll use it in our dino died. Type game over text dot set active to true. Save it. Let's check if it's working. Okay, great. The next thing I said we will do is allow jump to restart. In order to do that, we will again go to our Dino script. We will add that we are using Unity Engine.Scene Management. So maybe you remember that we use the scene management in order to use our scene manager. We use our scene manager every time we'll deal with our scenes. So we will say that anytime our Dino dies and we detect any input on our screen, we just reload the current scene. Now, in order to do that, we also need to have one integer. So private int current scene. In the start method, we have to say what is current scene. So current scene equals scene manager dot get active scene dot build index. So there we have it. Now in our update, so everything of this is executed if Dino is alive. Now we have to add another condition. So if isDead equals to true, and if we detect any input, so input dot get mouse button down. In that case, we will just reload the current scene. So access the scene manager dot load scene current scene, and we already defined what is our current scene. Let's save everything and see if it works. So let's hit this bird, game over. I will try now to jump. Okay, we have this new scene. Okay, great. This is everything for this lesson. See you next time when we will add some sound effects.